Okay, thank you very much for all this work that we have done. What I want to understand, how is the business community supporting this bill? Because sometimes, even if we pass, if they are not supporting it, it may be difficult to implement. And again, sometimes again, if they are really supporting it, they may start even implementing it before it's already passed, because it's just creating a space where women can get the space for breastfeeding and changing the babies. How are they taking it up? How are they supported? And even the whole country, with both women and men.
Okay. I guess what I'll say is that it's positive. We have a lot of support, and the people might be who had doubts. We took time to have forums where we could explain to them, and that they were not going to lose it for their benefit. It was not a loss to them, because you see, for the businessmen, they want to see value for money. And that's why I give an example of a company like Safaricom that has even took it before it was a law. It's already happening, and there are several other companies that have done so. The government itself has already started implementing it in those marketplaces, the new market structures that are coming up. There's already the space provided for, even before it has become a law. So proper communication and talking about it, answering the questions where maybe, and clearing the air has made it easier for the business community to accept it, and we don't anticipate that we can get any opposition on the law. Thank you.
The breastfeeding bill and the policy on unpaid care work, and for us, the breastfeeding bill contributes actually to the amount of time that women will spend being productive, as they no longer take much time traveling to and from, like you were saying, to breastfeed their babies. So my question is, since we're learning, we want to know what key issues we have to take note when we are developing our bill or our policy at country. Thank you.
I was to end with that I would advise, because if you talk about unpaid care, it's so broad. And if you look at our national policy, it looked at different interventions. The first one was about the social protection, and there are several laws about the social protection. The care for the elderly, you see, that is separate. Then that is the elderly and the person with disabilities. Also the support infrastructure. So if the issue is about support infrastructure, like you have to have a lamp for the people with disability to get into the building, you see that one comes with workmanship. It comes in as a different law altogether. So it might not be easy that you're going to do only one law to cover everything. Look at different interventions so that you can be able to see if it's about domestic workers, then you need a separate intervention for them. So an intervention for social protection for the elderly, for the person with disability, so that you don't ramp everything and get so many blocks where this one they're saying we don't need this, or this one we have an objection. So if it's an issue about the elderly, if it's an issue about domestic workers, let us have it as a standalone intervention. So it will be easier that way, so that one can, can start ahead and then the others can catch up. And where there are challenges, then you can be able to say, but we also had this intervention, it has gotten to this level. Because also when it comes maybe to government, where funding might be required from the government, there'll be different ministries funding for different responsibilities. So sometimes when you ramp everything together, then the baby will belong to no one. Nobody will take responsibility. So be very careful as you draft your bill. Be very careful on whose responsibility it is, and allocate specific responsibility to a specific intervention and to a specific ministry or department in the government. Yeah, thank you.
If the guests come out.
Yeah, well, I think we are done from our part. We are also mindful of the fact that you are having a more exciting time in a few hours. But we appreciate that you've taken time to put us through this. I'm learning a lot. I know I'm moving with experts in the area, both physically and theoretically. But I think I'm building, if I say so, I'm building a wealth of knowledge and expertise, and I have no regrets for coming if I had doubts about coming, and if I had doubts on how I was going to explain to my citizens why I'm in Nairobi. I think this is an easier explanation to give, and it touches so many people. So I think for us, it's quite a very good effort, and we appreciate and we wish you well in your many other endeavors. But I think this one, if we pull it through, will leave an indelible mark on not only in Kenya, but in even our own countries. So we are rooting for you, and we hope that this time it will not have the various technical issues that occurred the last time. I think we seem to have that ground covered. So we are very keen to follow progress and also to keep communicating on what we would have done on the various issues, what we can practically implement on the ground without the law, what we need the law to implement, what needs policy changes at councils, at our organizations, the quick wins, so to speak. So we are quite grateful that you found time at this juncture to be able to sit with us and take us through what you have gone through as a politician until you are at the apex of the political party. That's quite an interesting journey, and we are honored to be in your presence at this particular point in time. Thank you.
And thank you for finding time to come and even to benchmark with us. And any other time, you're welcome. And I think once we visit, if you have a chance to visit your country, we'll also come and learn. And I've seen one of the challenges is us, and I will say African leaders, I don't know whether it happens in your country, sometimes you look at what is the budget implication instead of the goodwill. Sometimes you don't need a lot of money to do these things. We need the goodwill. Once people have the willingness from their heart, anything can happen. And especially the local governments. You have a lot of goodwill from the business community that you work with. Sometimes you'll not even be able to use, you'll not be required to use your money. There are people who just come and say, you need these spaces. I am going to take care of it. So what is most important is for us just to look at the goodwill and what is beneficial to our people. And then the rest will follow in place, and it will fall in place. Thank you.
We'll give you the freedom of the city.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And make sure you enjoy Nairobi. I don't know whether you're told this is the only capital city that has a national park. Have you visited? You need to, it's just, you can walk to the national park, it's not far. But you can go in there, the best time to go is in the morning, at around 6 in the morning, or from 4 p.m. to around 6, you'll enjoy seeing lions. They're just here in the city, you can say hi to them, they're very friendly. Yeah, I think we have the big five except the elephants.
Yeah.
So you'll find the rest of the big five there. And of course we have very nice restaurants around. We have beautiful people, both male and female. We're very good at that.
Yes.
Also for the ones who are single, you can get a few contacts here and there. If you don't mind. But you're breastfeeding.
Yes, I am.
You're breastfeeding.
Yes.
But are you single?
No, I'm not single. I'm
Okay.
married.
That offer was for the single. But even if, yeah, but you know, enjoying a nice meal in Nairobi as you watch the sunset is very important. So you're welcome. Even for tourism, you just came in Nairobi. Next time you come bring your family. We have the Masai Mara, where we have it is the 8th wonder of the world, and we have the world beast migration. It's like an hour's drive from here, from the center, from Nairobi. You can go there and we have many beautiful hotels here. And then we have our coast, which is Mombasa, where they have come from. So Kenya is the best country to be in. Karibuni tena, that means welcome again. Thank you.
1 minute. Thank you, because mine will be like a vote of thanks, but I'm not the one to give the vote of thanks. Okay. It's just to say thank you so much, and for that passion that you have driven that bill from the first time, and it's still going on. In addition to that, and where I'm saying I'll not take long, is just to notify you that we are keeping tabs of the horticultural bill, like I mentioned, with the women in agriculture. We had initiated the conversations with Anita, and hoping that we'll have some time and have that conversation, because we have women from across different counties, both in the rural and in the urban, because we also want women in the urban informal settlements to produce their own food. But then there's a lot of misinformation, so we need to get it right. But we would want that opportunity to have that conversation. Thank you.
We'll actually have the conversation. It's good you brought it up, because this is one of the bills that suffered social media misinformation. And so people came up with videos and explaining, I don't know, Bill Gates and whatever. It is a very good bill. I hope you women and yourself and even the partners can help you go through the bill and understand it. It is one bill that is going also to help our domestic workers who are working in horticultural farms, who are underpaid, who are exposed to chemicals, who have no medical covers, and also our farmers who are exploited by people who come in, steal their fruits from the farm, go sell them, so there's no tracking and tracing. And I would also want to be very clear that any registration that is proposed in that bill is free. There's no single charges that is proposed in that bill. It is just for the farmer to register, I am growing avocados, so that then if somebody says, I bought my avocados in Muranga, in which farm, and we can be able to confirm with the farmers where they are sleeping at night. In the morning we wake up, we find the whole farm, somebody came at night and harvested. So also for export purposes, when you export your fruits and maybe they are not mature, or there are some, they have not reached the standard, how are we as a government then able to help our farmers to grow fruits that are generally acceptable outside for export? It is actually meant for the farmers and to cushion them, even to cushion the workers who work there, and all those other things that were on social media. I had to read that bill like 5 times to ask myself, did I propose a bill and then somebody else went and wrote something else? My team will tell you. I called them and I sat, I was just trying to see what was added. There was nothing, what was in social media and what is actually in the bill. There's nothing close to anything. And it is important that such a bill comes in, please even yourself take time and read. And also try, just explain to the farmers. And I hope the partners will also help us, so that as we go on, we will make decisions not out of emotions, out of misinformation from social media, but from the fact. And people, sometimes you're stopping very good bills in this parliament because the social media has been misinformed the public, and then the public rain on us. And here in Kenya, there's something called salam. You are greeted on social media. They take your number and they send all sorts of messages. You are busy. So if you are a coward, you will give up. But when you know what you're doing is right, you push for it. And it's a very good bill for the horticultural farmers. I actually consulted majority of horticultural farmers before I drafted it. And where it is now, we went through publication. As I've explained, the budget, everything to publication. So from publication now, we are going to have it come to Parliament for first reading. We have not, and from first reading, it must go through public participation. Yeah. So public participation, I ask all Kenyans to come in and give their views, so that anything we need to remove, we can remove. Any additional, we can. But it's for the benefit of our horticultural farmers.
So
thank you.
I wish to extend an invitation to come and probably we will have a sit-in with representative farmers, both rural and urban, and maybe you can just have a session with them.
Yes, I am.
Thank you.
Anytime.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, and thank you for sparing your busy schedule to meet us. As always, we will be here to support you in the technical issues that again you will require from us. But once again, asante sana for having time with us and speaking to us. And we